I work mainly in theatre. I've done little bits in film and TV, but the majority of my work is in theatre and dance. Done quite a lot of work with National Theatre Wales and National Dance Company Wales. So on the design side of things, I've designed the pantomime in Newport in the Riverfront Theatre for the last 3 years. Sourcing, designing any costumes that need designing, and a lot of the costumes would also be hired. So there's also the role of going to costume hire places and picking out costumes to fit the actors that they're needed for. Lots of different roles within the sort of costume designer supervisor role. So it all starts with the script, and that would be, you'd read through the script and note down anything that's specific to that script, sort of time period or location, things like that. You'd also talk through with the director, because they'll have a certain vision of how they want the finished product to look. And then, depending on which direction you're going with that, if you're going to be particularly accurate to the time period, then you would use books. I've sort of built up a collection of historical costume books that I'd look to for that. Also online, I'd look into things such as the art of the time, like the paintings that were done. Obviously, they'll have accurate depictions of the clothing of that period. And so similarly with location, you could look at art from a certain country to get a feel of what the costume is like for that place. Obviously, there's the artistic license where you purposely might be setting it not so accurately and playing around with the styles a bit more as well. So it all depends what sort of look you're going for, really. Inspiration comes from anywhere and everywhere, really. You start off by looking in books, looking at images. You might go online and look at images, and then there's the less obvious places such as nature and architecture, and places, different textures that come from that are seen in nature. And you might look at a brick wall, and the texture for that could be an inspiration for a costume. It's also really useful to go to fabric shops and see the fabric in person, and feel the weight of the fabric and how it hangs and drapes, and you might get an inspiration for a garment just purely from seeing the fabric in person. Going on Pinterest and typing in keywords and seeing what comes up and what ideas you get from that. So yeah, lots of different places. So obviously online is a great place to look. A lot of roles are advertised on Facebook groups, so there are lots of sort of costume jobs Facebook groups out there, so they're really good to look at. If you can become a member of the group, and then if anyone's got any jobs going, they'll be posted up there, so you can contact them directly then through Facebook. So they're really good groups to sort of search out and be part of. There's also other websites where theatres might advertise any jobs that are going within their theatre. But a lot of the work that I've done is word of mouth as well. So people, once you've sort of built up a few contacts, people will come to you then to ask you to be part of the production. So yeah, building up contacts it takes a while, but and it sounds scary that you need all these contacts, but yeah, once you've done a couple of jobs, then people pass your name around. But yeah, I definitely would recommend things like the Facebook costume community groups are really useful for looking for jobs. Yes, laundry is the main one in costume. don't think anyone really enjoys the laundry part of it. And obviously, as you know, as a designer, depending on the sort of size of show you're working on, the designer or supervisor probably wouldn't be involved in the laundry. But then if you're working on smaller scale theatre shows, I've been, you know, on pantomime, I've been the designer and also been washing the socks and pants at the end of the day. So yeah, that's the one. And laundry and ironing, I would say I could do without. But